Everybody, it's your common sense handyman. I'm sitting in my 2009 Dodge Ram, and just this spring I began to get a knocking noise coming from the dashboard in around this area. So of course, like most of you, I did some research on YouTube and found out that there are 4 blend doors for the heating unit that sits behind the dashboard. There's 2 that sit behind this, which this is actually relatively easy to come off. 1 that sits behind the glove box back here, which is really easy to get to. You just have to basically take the glove box off and it's right there. It's really easy to get to. So I checked all those, and of course none of those were mine. There is a 4th blend door that sits on the other side of the heating unit against the firewall, which requires the entire dashboard to come off to fix. And of course, that's the one that I have to fix today. So big shout out to Motor City Mechanics. They have a 4-part video on how to remove a dashboard from a Dodge Ram 2009 and up. And it's excellent 4-part out. Like I said, I'll leave the link. I also, unfortunately, the 4-part that is done there, it does not have the center console. So I'll have to remove the center console. I'm just going to start up the truck so you can hear the knocking noise. And that's it. And it will repeat one more time in about 2 minutes. And I get almost no heat from it. The air conditioning seems to still work, but again, almost no heat. So prior to starting this job, I did go to my local shop, got the air conditioning drained, all the Freon taken out, and while I'm taking out, I'll take out the center console first. While I'm doing that, I will leave the truck attached to the battery, but as soon as that's done, I will take the negative pole off the battery and take the dashboard off and bring you guys along for the journey. All right, here we go. Okay, so this little rubber holder just fits in there. We can just take that out. And inside we just have a couple of Phillips, it looks like. And one thing I did do is I've got Ziploc bags so that I can mark where all these screws go to keep track of everything as I go. So we'll just take those out. Now these side panels here, these literally just pop off. Just get your hand in there and they just click right off, and that will reveal one of the bolts that holds it onto the truck. And we'll do the same for the driver's side. Okay, so there's a couple connectors in here. This connector here, it's obviously, sorry, that's for the shifter. That just popped out. This is for the lighter or auxiliary power right there. So the center console, I just wanted to show you the center console. These panels come off, I think I showed, and there's some screws back here that come off. And so there's a bolt there, bolt there, bolt there, bolt there. There's a wiring harness under the driver's seat that you can get to. And I'll pause this, and here we are on the driver's side. Again, the bolts are just covered up from the trim piece there, bolt behind the driver's seat here. And this little panel here comes off, gives you access to the gear shift lever. It just pops right off there. And yeah. Okay, so on Motor City Mechanic, he was doing a diesel, so it was a little different. In order to do the 1500 here, a lot of what he said was right, but in the diesel, he's got the window washer fluid or the coolant bottle sitting here, and we in a 1500 don't. We have this kind of wiring harness, and behind that wiring harness is is that bolt, which is attached to the heater core, which does have to come out if you want to be able to move the heater core at all. So probably the most difficult bolt to get out. Other than that, from inside the engine, he was bang on. All right, everybody. Dash is out, heater core was out enough that I could get to the blend door, which was right back here. I tested the door was functioning properly. So all of this, taking the dash out, had to drop the steering column, trim pieces. I had to go under the hood to disconnect the AC unit. All of this was to replace this piece. This is the new one, $40 Canadian. Here's the old one, and it is all a result of this. Broken plastic gears. That's it. You can see the shards of the gears in there. That's it. So this is a $1,500 job to be done by your local mechanic, or a few hours of work done by you. Give yourself at least 3 days to do this and do it meticulously, and we'll see how it all works out when I get this thing back together again. Okay, so that's it. I'll continue on. Hey everybody. Okay, it's all done. It's all put back together again. I did a little update. I ended up painting all of the silver trim in my truck blue to match the outside of the truck, and blue is my favorite color, so I thought, what the heck. So there it is. It's all together. The knocking noise is gone, and I don't want my air conditioning on because it's not filled yet, but I'm starting to get heat out of my vents, which is good news. So we're all fixed. I'm just going to take it out on a test drive for the first time since it's been fixed. So there you go. About 7 hours of work and about a $1,500 savings.